So, just arrived in Chalk Farm. For some reason today, in typical English style, decided to close the Circle Line and the Victoria Line. And Chalk Farm, the lifts are broken. So everyone's coming up the emergency steps. We're breaking the boundaries of inefficiency. There's the roundhouse over there. So that's the roundhouse. And we'll be inside in a minute. Morning.
Good morning.
How you doing, Christian?
I'm very good, thanks.
And where are we at?
We're at the Roundhouse in London.
And why are we here?
We're here for Longplayer Live, 1,000 minutes of 1,000 years. A composition that is 1,000 years long and started in 1999 is playing today, and at the moment today only, for 1,000 minutes.
And who's behind it?
Well, Archangel are heavily involved. James is representing Archangel today, along
Morning,
with
James.
many other people. Ask him some questions.
Okay. Can you? I've kind of rocked up. I've got a little bit of background information about this project, but not in any particular detail. I've read some of Christian's posts. Could you give me just an idea of how it emerged, how it started?
Actually, the story starts more like 10 years ago. The piece of work is actually by an artist called Jem Finer. Jem used to be in the Pogues, and he's also a composer. And around the turn of the millennium, actually before that, he started speaking with Michael Morris. And Michael is a commissioner at Archangel, and they talked about a piece of work which would last for 1,000 years, start the millennium, and obviously last beyond anyone's lifetime. And so it's as much about passing on things to generations beyond generations, as anything else. And today is 1,000 minutes of that 1,000 years of performance.
Fantastic.
And combined with that are a set of talks, a long conversation.
And that's 1,000 minutes of conversation also?
No.
That's a little bit more condensed.
It's a little bit more condensed. There's I don't know how many minutes. It's nearly the whole day, but it's not quite.
And you've got some quite interesting people talking today.
Absolutely. Neuroscientists, artists, musicians, and each and they're sort of swapping over. So you might get a scientist talking with a mathematician, or a mathematician talking with an artist. So it's quite some interesting things should emerge for sure.
Okay. I've just got one quick question. What I'm kind of intrigued about is, this is 1,000 years. How do you? Is this like some kind of relay race? How do you pass on? Do you have people in training who are going to grow up and learn the music and play the music? Or
I think that's a very interesting question.
how's it going to continue over, say, beyond your lifetime?
Well, probably the most important thing to say is actually it's live the whole time on the internet.
Yeah.
But for me, the idea of the legacy of this piece is the most interesting thing, because obviously the people who are the trustees of this piece will die, and they have to find a way of passing it on to the next generation. And that's maybe what's taking place today. It's a discussion on what will actually happen to this work. And
it's an evolving project, essentially.
It's an evolving project, absolutely. And there are a lot of people here who will take up the mantle in some respects, musicians and trustees perhaps.
And fine, and we're going to try and get the message out loud and strong for you, because it's fascinating.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't have braved the hell of London for anything less today. So thanks, and we'll talk to you a bit more later.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.